Was that a fucking Four Loko truly?
Yeah, it's a big ass truly.
Damn.
This shit is huge. It's like a 40.
Yo, what the fuck?
You want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast featuring your hosts Superfly and Danny Daybar is open. What's good? How you been?
Good, my dude. I've been great, man. I mean, yeah, dude, I've been on lockdown because I don't want to go outside. I think the time frame, if I ever got corona till now, since being back from New York, New Jersey, I should be fine, but I'm still taking like another 5 days of precaution. How about you, dude? How are things in LA? Like, are there still like protests like right outside your window? Like how are things?
Yeah, so I actually recently came back from San Francisco or the Bay Area on the weekend.
Oh, how's that?
Super chill. Just met up with a couple friends who basically his sister who lives in LA wanted to visit him, so they got an Airbnb in Santa Cruz, I want to say.
Okay.
So it's like this really small house near the beach, not like by the sand directly or anything, but we just had some drinks, some pizza, played some Call of Duty. It was just like good to wind down and like escape all the madness of the protesting and stuff. As much as like I think it's important, I just like emotionally couldn't like stay at home and just do the same shit. So I was like, I need to see some friends. Ended up doing that, came back, and all of a sudden fucking LA decides to be 90 degrees at 6 o'clock at night, which is wild. I'm fucking sweating bullets right now. This shit is
really
out of control. I have the fan blasting on me, and
I'm
How's debating.
The AC in your house? It
sucks because it's in everyone's room but mine. It's right outside my door, but no matter how cold it is outside my door, the air just doesn't flow into my room.
But don't you guys have the fucking master bedroom?
Yeah, which is stupid. I don't understand
what
how
the fuck.
I guess that was the catch. We didn't realize. I'm about to be like, yo, you better decrease my rent by $50. What the fuck is this shit? Yeah.
Yo, that is terrible, bro.
Yeah. But otherwise, I think the protests have quieted down. It's super peaceful. All the looters are probably rocking their vans and shit right now, all happy. So I don't think they have the energy to loot anymore. And I mean, we could get into the topics, but I don't know, the energy of the earth just feels so tense, even though the riots are peaceful. I feel like it's like just us against them in every way,
bro. Yeah, we'll get into it. We need to breathe a little bit before we just jump into like another a third episode in a row of it being so intense. But so go back to the Bay though. Was it just did wifey go with you, or was it just like you and the boys?
Yeah, wifey went, but she stayed with her friend. And then I stayed with my boy. And he's actually a former Marine. So we were just talking about like guns, safety, police, tasers and shit. And then played Call of Duty, of course, just to get it out of my system. But yeah, I didn't honestly when I got there. So yeah, I arrived at like 6 o'clock at his place. He has a big ass bottle of Kirkland vodka, and we're just casually taking a shot like every 10 minutes.
Going back to like us hanging out from the first time I met you, you're like a shot guy though. You and Sarah are shot people. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I remember like the first time we met, I'm like, bro, what's the rush? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know how it started, but in the past when Sarah and I started dating and we were hanging out with friends and stuff, I think it might have been like an LA thing, because I know like in Florida and New York and shit, stuff doesn't close till 6, but in LA it doesn't get popping until like 10:30 and shit's pretty much dead at like it's done by 1, like dead. So and then people work till fucking 6 or whatever, have to get ready, have traffic. So by the time they even show up to your place, it's already like 9:30, 10. So I think that it's at that point, it's like we can't just chill with a couple of beers. We got to take 4 shots, 5 shots, under the premise that we're not going to buy drinks, but we end up ironically buying more because we're so faded.
Because you're so faded.
I love you. Like, this round on me, this round on him, this round on...
Oh my God. My nigga, I was that guy in undergrad, bro. I remember being at University of Miami and like being that drunk, friendly dude, like, bro, like, just everyone behind me gets a free shot. I was like, what are you doing, bro? This isn't your money. Like, my mom would be like, who the fuck are you buying drinks for?
Right. And the worst thing is waking up and checking your bank account or credit card statement. And you're like, $300? Like, what the fuck? I just threw that up in the toilet.
Yo, terrible, bro. That's funny. But yeah, you guys definitely shot people up. Yeah, that makes sense though, because like, yeah, like you guys, it's crazy because like, you would think like in LA, since things close earlier, you'd be out earlier, but like that never happens. Like you're still like taking your time, leaving the house at 10, show up to the bar or lounge at 10:30, and then your night's wrapping up at 12:15, which is fucking. But again, if you're already fucking faded, like that seems like forever.
Right.
Nice, dude. I'm definitely getting cabin fever, bro, for sure. Just like, dude, because I almost got into like a fucking World War III with my girl because we had plans. So we're doing like a virtual church conference thing, Friday night and Saturday. Dude, we booked this shit like 2 months ago. I completely forgot about it. So I made plans with my boys to have like a boy day Saturday. I'm like, bro, like I've been locked in the apartment for fucking 2 weeks straight now. I'm literally like, yo, on the point of like the idea of like looking at a computer screen for like just because to have fun, which is what the conference is gonna be. I'm like, bro, I love God, but like I need a break, bro. Like this is nothing to do with this is me my own fucking sanity. But obviously I lost that argument. So we pushed my boy days to Sunday because I was like, bro, like I need to get the fuck out of this house this week, bro. Like I need to be out, barbecue, pool, fucking like conversation face to face, bro. Because dude, I am like I get it, bro. Like if you know you can't go out, that feels different from like you just still being inside. Like yeah, I'm good. Let me just stay inside this week. Because like, bro, like me knowing like I should not go out because I should not get other people sick. I'm like, bro, let me the fuck out.
Yeah, that's a huge dilemma for me too. And
but is shit open for you though? Like, is like our bars open or restaurants open?
Restaurants are starting to open. Next week, they're actually opening gyms and sports centers and shit like that. I'm personally not probably gonna attend them anyways, because one, I was using my work gym, which is probably gonna be closed like until next year, and then two, you have to wear a fucking mask in the gym. I'm not trying to pass out and like not have a flow of oxygen, or like wait in line for an hour and then have to do like sign up for time slots for each machine and shit.
That's how it's working at LA Fitness. You gotta call in advance. If you're gonna go through in like peak hours, you have to like you need to be at the fucking gate by like a certain time. If you're not, you miss your spot.
Yeah. So all that I'm probably not gonna partake in. Things have pretty much started to open up casually. Realistically, I'm not gonna like try to go out until sometime next month though, like when everyone's kind of gone out and you know the 2-week symptom period or whatever is over with, and they come out with new numbers and things like that. I don't even know who to believe anymore at this point, but I guess better safe than sorry.
Yeah, dude, because the CDC just came out with like asymptomatic people can't transmit this shit anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, that was the whole reason we're locked up. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. I'm just like, and casually just dropping that shit on us as if it's almost like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like work when there's been times where people have said one thing to the client and then said the complete opposite thing, like on a phone call or something, without explaining how their answer was completely different and just awkwardly pretending like there's not an issue with not explaining why you just said the completely fucking opposite thing.
Yeah, dude, just like so casually, like, yeah, so that whole thing about like, you know, people who carry it but have no symptoms can pass it. Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's the reason we're all locked up. Like, that's the reason, bro. Like, that's like it's easy when you can see symptoms. You just stay home. You told me not. Like,
and honestly, like, in the beginning when all this stuff started, it was kind of fun because I had my roommates and it felt like almost like a sleepover, like when you're fucking 8 years old or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we get to stay home and drink and not have to work as hard and stuff.
Up till 4 a.m. for no fucking reason.
Yep. And that quickly faded away. And now I feel like I'm honestly working harder and I feel less excited about drinking at home because I've been fucking kind of doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, now I'm getting sick of it.
Dude, my thing is I think we mentioned this before in a couple episodes, but like right now, like, because on my computer I have this saved where like if someone like pops up on House Party, it's like, oh, say hello to your friend. I'm like, bro, fuck this. Like, yo, no one call me on this shit. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
Like, bro, like the fact that I'm being forced to like have my Zoom thing, my camera open during work is like enough, bro. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So
that quickly faded for me. Like the virtual thing was dope, I'll admit, for the first like 3 weeks, and then after a while I'm like, nope, like I gotta delete this shit, or unless it's your birthday or something, like I'm not about to.
Yeah. Unless it's someone's birthday, like facts, bro. Like I'll show love, but like, bro, that whole thing of like let's just fucking like look at each other for fucking 4 hours, like nah, bro. Like
yeah.
Like I was that shit got like tired real quick for me at least.
Yeah.
All right, man. But yeah, at least what do you got looking forward to this coming week?
So this week my company decided to give us a summer day off. Just in light of everything.
Every week?
No, just this. So we have 3 summer days. The first one's this week, the next one's July 17th, and then the third one's like August 9th or something.
Okay.
In light of everything, and they've been focusing on mental health, and like you kind of take a day off, you don't need a reason, like just de-stress. And I think that's really important because at least I know I've beaten up myself, and I constantly have this voice in my head that's like, you can't take a day off unless you're literally sick and can't work, or
Dude, I've been that same exact way, bro. Like even when I drove up to New York, bro, I didn't take any days off. I was like, bro, I gotta work. Like, yeah. So like I'm actively trying to remind myself, and you tell me you're doing the same. That like, yo, you literally have I have 20 days of PTO left. Like, yo, I am using every fucking day, bro. Like I earned that shit. I've been there for 3.5 years. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck what kind of pandemic's going on. That's mine. So yeah, I'm actively like trying to remind, because like, yeah, it's weird. Like, yo, like the company's losing money, and you're just saying, well, I'm taking a day off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all that too. Yeah, people are on furlough, fucking selling crack on the side, trying to feed their kids and shit. And here you are taking a day off at the beach.
Yeah, facts. So it's just like, I'm good. Life's great. It's like, bro, you're hemorrhaging money. Get the fuck back. That's really why. Like, I've been just scared. Like, yo, I know like people are fucking being, reassigned to different teams, and we haven't turned a profit in a couple. I'm like, dude, that's your problem, bro. Like, I'm doing my part. Like, I'm fucking working. Like, we gotta do this shit together. Like, so.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely feel you with the like, yeah, like I had to hit up my boss for PTO one day, and I was like, is this gonna be a problem? Because tell me if it is, I'll work. But I really don't want to, man. So let me take the day off. He's like, nah, it's fine.
Nice. Well, I'm actually gonna so I'm gonna get a haircut again, and then I'm gonna also dye my hair one last time. 3rd time's a charm. I hope it works out this time.
Well, the haircut, like you're bringing the shit down, or you're just gonna keep touching up on the side?
Keep touching up on the side.
So how long do you want your hair to go? Like, are you gonna braid this shit eventually, or you just want to see?
That's a good question. Probably the latter. Just kind of see how it goes. I kind of wanted like mini dreads of some sort, not like on the sides or anything. But I did want it to be long enough to where I could like twist it to a certain degree. But I definitely don't want like actual dreadlocks or anything.
Cool, bro. I mean, at least you have the options, though. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah. I mean, how long is this shit right now? Like your shit comes like down to your chin if it was picked out?
No, if it was picked out, probably like here, maybe like right above my eyes.
Because that's the rule, right? Because I remember I used to have braids too. So like, once it's here, you could have like you could do cornrows easily, right? That's pretty much like the rule. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could get cornrows right now if I wanted. My hair's probably the longest it's been in a while. I'm considering trimming it. I'm not too sure how I feel. But part of me is like,
especially when you do like when you fade it in on the side, it looks like super clean.
I feel like it looks wild when the sides are all puffy. I just look like a fucking homeless man. But it's crazy how just shaving the side of it makes you look like a whole different person. It doesn't matter what the fuck's going on up here as long as the sides are shaved.
Like the funny thing is like that Blair right there is like, all right, I'm thinking about marriage. Blair would have fade is like, yo, why am I with a chick? Like, yo, look at me. Like, why am I with someone?
Right. That's the problem. I get depressed when my shit's like this. I just feel like
that's different. A real thing, bro. Yo, speaking of not depression, weird segue, but I am proud of myself. So I wanted to share with you, while we're doing this, I finally, so I told you I started doing grief grief like group share like through my church. Like that's a group of people talking about like, you know, what they're going through. But I finally started seeing a therapist one-on-one today. Was my first session. That was super dope, bro. Like,
nice.
So anyone who's like dealing with mental health stuff, you as well. I'm through your insurance, through EAP, they offer like 10 free sessions right now during COVID. So, bro, 45 minutes, one-on-one, whatever you want to talk about, she digs in and like tries to really unwrap like what's going on. So, dude, I was super grateful for that. So, yeah, bro, mental health is a real thing, especially right now. So anyone, especially you, bro, if you feel like you need someone, I would definitely, you know, check through your insurance portal, because I know if it's available for me, I'm sure it's available for you.
Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to do for a while. And I'm glad that like celebrities and stuff have been talking about it more, because I think like when we were kids and even teenagers and stuff, you always thought a therapist was for someone who like witnessed like 40 murders or something, or
dude, 100%. Like, even my mom, bro. So like I my mom took me to like a therapist like when I was like 8 or 9, because I was like acting out. And then, dude, I remember this vividly. This is wild how she like pops in your head. We were like leaving the therapy session, and like she was walking to her car, and like 2 of my boys, like again, I'm only 8 years old. I think they were actually my YMCA counselors, like drove by like in their bicycles, and I'm like, yo, what's up? And she's like, shh, don't let them know we're here. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, but I mean, that's like the mindset from like the 80s and 90s that like men asking for mental help was like a weakness or some shit. And I'm like, bro, I got a feeling just like any female, so we gotta fucking talk about this shit.
And sometimes it's not even necessarily like you're looking for help, right? It's more so someone to express your feelings to listen and like confide in you. Someone
and unbiased,
in, like,
bro.
Yeah, unbiased too. And just like kind of comfort you and make you feel like you're human, because a lot of times we go through shit and our world crashes, and then as soon as you find out other people go through that shit, it kind of makes you feel better, because you're like, oh, this is supposed to kind of happen, and like other people dealt with it too and they're surviving, so therefore it makes me feel better, sort of thing.
Yeah, dude, it gives you, I mean, dude, life is all about perspective, bro. So like obviously I'm not gonna name any names, but like I have a fellow member of my group that she lost her mom when she was 2 years old. So like, dude, like, you know, how lucky am I that I had 29 more years of her, you know what I mean? So like, it helps to get perspective, bro. But yeah, dude, mental health is a serious thing, bro. Especially like, again, like as minorities, I mean, especially like with shit going on now, like we've been exposed to a lot of different things and, you know, have things from different angles. So just to say, yo, man up and deal with it, like that's not going to help the situation. Yeah. I'm sure there are plenty of times when you just like fucking just, yo, be a man and go through this shit. But like, you also need to understand, like, you know, when you were 11 and you were told that, probably not the best fucking advice.
No, that's how school shooters and shit get created. Like
100%, bro. They were told to fucking man up. He's like, all right, I'm a man up.
And then decided to play Call of Duty for like a week straight, and then stole his dad's rifle.
Man down, bro. There's gonna be a lot of men down on his head.
Holy shit, that's a dope phrase. Well, it's kind of a morbid phrase,
yeah,
but
it's morbid as fuck. All right, on that note, then let's get into this fucking episode. Dude, episode 32, bro. That's crazy. I think like an episode 50, we need to like have like a moment and just like take 50 shots or some shit, bro. We need to figure out what
we'll do something. Maybe we'll rock merchandise or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, something. But all right, episode 32. We're gonna go with the name being consider the source, and that's more so. I want to just us discuss, like, just feel like being 2 weeks removed now from everything, right? Like I kind of like think about this like a heated fight. You have like a loved one where like emotions are high. You know, you're fucking like yelling, demanding shit, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then, you know, like once the fight, like you go to your room, I'll go to my room. You start trying to understand like what's going on, right? So right now, like how are your emotions right now compared to 2 weeks ago when the first day of protesting happened?
Yeah. My emotions right now, I think I'm much more optimistic. Just because I feel like, and I think even on the Flagrant 2 podcast or whatever with Andrew Schultz, they mentioned white people kind of hijacked the movement. I know the word hijack sounds awful, but I think it's just really nice to see other people who don't look like me for once like own up to the situation and do things. It's going to be a learning experience just because they obviously aren't black, so they can't like lead the movement, but they're definitely, we can't do it without them no matter how much we want to. I think this has to be an effort on all people's part. So I think that aspect of it has made me feel optimistic. My only concern is like for the people that don't agree with it, are they going to become more monstrous and evil and, you know, just hateful to people just because, on both sides even too, because I'm sure there might be people out there that, you know, all now like really hate white people, or white people that really hate black people or colored people or anyone who shows like any sympathy towards BLM. So I'm afraid of, I guess, the divide that might come from this.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the prior,
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the prior 2 weeks, that was a more weird space for me. Like, it felt like America was burning down, but like part of me kind of enjoyed it in a way, just because I don't know, I can be kind of vengeful at times, and I felt like everyone was just fed up with everything. So even though the looting shit definitely wasn't warranted, it was almost like we do need to wipe out fucking damn near everything and everybody, because we haven't been doing anything right, and we didn't open our eyes until COVID happened and we were stuck at home and forced to like just pay attention to everything essentially.
Yeah, the fact that we don't have sports anymore, it's like, oh fuck, this is happening like that, which is fucking terrible. But maybe this is like divine intervention. Like, Joe, like, come on, just focus on this one thing.
Right.
Yeah, man, I would say similar feelings. You know, like I feel that like the empathy. It's like, man, like, you know, obviously the looting and rioting seems to be like pretty much quiet down everywhere. But yeah, I feel like I was you. I was like, dude, fuck that Target, fuck that police station, like burn that shit down. Like, yo, fuck that cop for pushing that old man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, defund all these motherfuckers. Like, yo, no more police, bro. Like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I was like, yo, fuck everything. And then, yeah, like now you start trying to understand like everyone's perspective, right? So like, what's weird to me, and I want to ask you, bro, because like we've spoken about this before, like cancel culture is like 2019, 2020 at an all-time high, bro. You fuck up, yo, they're trying to get you the fuck out, like, quick. So how do you feel? Like, obviously both of us are super BLM, right? Like, dude, that's just a fucking movement that needed to happen and keep happening from 4 years ago, but I'm glad it's back. But how do you feel with like, bro, you can't even have any deviating from that movement, or you're out, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're out. Like, it is just like this. And bro, even if you agree 99%, if you're 1%, well, like, maybe we shouldn't blow this shit up. They're like, yo, get him the fuck out of here. Yeah. Google his, like, you know, fucking Google his background. He was a racist in 1915. Get him the, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, so how do you feel with, like, all that, where, like, people who, like, again, like, dude, I was talking to your girl about this. Like, there's a couple people from, like, Vanderpump Rules who got fired from the show. Dude, she said some outlandish shit and, like, got a black coworker, like, arrested. So, like, fuck her 100%, right? But it wasn't even like, they didn't even let her come out and apologize. It was just like, oh, really? You're fired. You know what I mean? Like, we're not even trying to hear shit. So, like, how do you feel about, like, bro, like, it's just this, and if you even, you know, have a differing opinion slightly, you're out. Yeah.
No, like, unless you're just crazy disrespectful, like, straight up, like, advocating lynching people or some shit, I completely disagree with canceling people. I think we need to have a conversation, and even at work, we've been talking about how we need to have these uncomfortable conversations. They're uncomfortable, but if it's like going to a therapist, if you don't go, it's just gonna fester up and make you crazy, and you're gonna live in your little echo chamber and not learn shit. So someone who, like Drew Brees or whatever, even though I completely disagree with what he said, instead of like saying fuck you, fuck football, or whatever the case is, I think we should force these people to learn and go on a platform with like Killer Mike or some shit. I don't know, someone like calm and educated about the cause to just talk about these things and change people's perspective. Because if we cancel people, then the people who are against it just see that as us being sensitive and like not willing to listen to them either. So I think it has to be both ways, regardless of how you feel. You kind of got to take a step back, because I'm willing to debate with anyone, even if they support Trump, like as long as they articulate why they feel the way they feel so we can help correct it. Otherwise, like, we're not gonna be able to cancel everybody. So
that's my thing, bro. That's what I just get afraid of. Like, there's gonna be a lot of, again, mainly white people who like maybe generally are like do want to help, but like maybe they're afraid, fuck, if I say the wrong thing, they're gonna come after me. And maybe when I was a fucking, early 20-year-old, I said some outlandish shit, or maybe there's a video of me fucking screaming or singing the N-word, and it's like, let me just not say anything. Like, I feel like like the fear I have is that like everyone's so adamant of like, bro, it's this or that, and it's like, bro, I agree, bro. Like, systematic racism is a fucking thing. Like, there was some guy that my brother tried to put me on. I was like, bro, like, nah, bro, I'm not trying to hear this shit. Like, I gotta tell you this guy's name because he's super fucking famous, but let me not fuck this up. Let me just say this guy's name on purpose.
I thought it was your boy, like your actual boy.
No. My brother was putting me on to someone.
Nice.
This guy's name is Larry Elder. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, he sounds familiar.
Yeah, Larry Elder, bro. Like, super conservative. Yeah.
That sounds like a conservative ass name.
Larry Elder, super conservative black guy. Again, super intelligent, first of all, like super intelligent, but everything about like racism, he's like shutting it down, right? He says that most of the issues with Black America is because, again, this is him saying this shit, because I'm not trying to get fined either. This is him saying this shit.
That might be the ticket. We just gotta say some crazy conservative shit, and then just flip the switch as soon as we get like 1,000 subscribers.
He was saying that the main issues in Black America is not from systemic racism at all. It's because a lot of black young men grow up without a father in the home, mm-hmm. right? And he's saying that everything can be stemmed from that, which again maybe is a valid point to a certain extent, right? Yeah. But like, there's also other things before that. It's not like it was just too convenient of like the one answer that, if we had dads at the house, everything would be solved. I'm like, bro, that's fucking also ignorant, bro. There's like other things happening, right? Like, like fucking incarceration rates, bro. Like, you can't just fucking tell me like, oh, but if a dad was at home, that would be better. Like, dude, I don't believe that, bro. I think normal people are fucking profiled, and like they may have a fucking ounce of weed on them, and they go to fucking jail for 30 fucking years, and the same white guy goes to jail for fucking a day. Like, that shit happens. So, I hate that on the other side of this is like the extremes. We're like, no, there's no such thing as racism. I'm like, bro, like, then I have a problem with you. Then I'm like, you're ignorant as fuck. Yeah. But I think there are people who are like super BLM, but just also don't know. And I'm afraid of like, if it gets such like a cancel culture mentality, they're just gonna stay in the fucking, too afraid to fucking even try to engage and like say, all right, how can I learn more? Because they're gonna be too afraid to be fucking canceled forever.
Right. I think so when I went to San Francisco or the Bay and talked to my friend, he kind of has a more conservative approach. He doesn't really like Trump or Biden.
I don't think anyone likes Biden, bro. Like, I don't think anyone.
But he'll say things like I think his dad was a cop, so like he kind of is more empathetic to the cops who like maybe his dad got shot at by some like gangster and he sees the other side. So like, and I myself follow a couple black conservative channels, not because I'm conservative, but I want to hear all viewpoints.
Yeah.
I feel like the average person doesn't want to do that. They just get triggered and angry. Like Candace Owens said basically the same shit. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she's like basically the black spokesperson of like every conservative black person in America and shit. And she said the same thing, like it doesn't exist. Like, he was George Floyd was a criminal. You're
bro, how do you feel about that? Martyrs and shit. His fucking background, like he was a male stripper. He, you know, at one point he held up a pregnant woman at gunpoint. I'm like, bro, what does that have to do with this?
That's what I'm saying is like, so even when we talk about the black fathers in the home shit, I know for a fact that that's a huge issue, but I feel like what people are doing is they're pointing problems elsewhere so they can switch the conversation. And for me, the biggest thing with this is that the police and things like that are systems we can control and make correct, whereas stuff like fathers in the home and all that, like it's not an easy switch. Like people are individuals at the end of the day, but like cops can't be out just choking people and shit. Like I don't care if he fucking raped 100 people. Like like I don't care what he did, because the cops didn't know that, nor are they supposed to do that anyway. The fucking laws, the judge is supposed to handle his fate, not you're not supposed to just decide to kill somebody because you want to. We can't do that shit. If somebody owes you fucking $500,000, you can't just walk up to his house with a pistol. Or if he fucking shoots your friend, you can't go to his house and choke his ass out. Like, but what they can for some reason.
Yeah, they can, which is wild. And like, so like that shit really rubbed me the wrong way, where they were bringing up like, and dude, I kind of felt the media. We'll talk about it in a second. I kind of felt the media, even like the liberal, like left media. Like I watch CNN for the most part, but I do check into Fox and a couple conservative people to see what the fuck they're saying. But like you can see the liberal media even hinting at. They kept saying, "Well, he came to Minneapolis to change his life." I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything, bro? Like, yo, whatever he did, like, unless he told me he fucking swung at the cop, you know, like told the cop to suck his dick from the back, like, yo, unless that happened, like, bro, the fact that he was on methamphetamines or fentanyl, or like he fucking held up a lady at gunpoint like 6 months ago and he has fucking sex tapes, like, dude, what does that have to do with the issue at hand? Like, it was so fucking murder. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't understand why, like I feel like the super conservatives are trying to like justify it some kind of weird way, and still say that the cop was wrong. That then that's the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, if the cop is wrong, the cop was wrong. There's no need to start bringing up all this shit from George Floyd's past that has nothing to do with what the fuck we're talking about right now. Yeah,
I've heard a lot of, like, everyone I've talked to, conservative or not, they've always started with, the cop was wrong. I haven't heard one person say he was right. Maybe the KKK would agree with him being right because they agree with just ending. Bro,
you saw that guy you saw that fucking FedEx employee who was like, I guess there was like some protest and he got outside of his house and like he like the George Floyd challenge, and he was like pretending to be a cop and like had his knee on his buddy's neck.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those challenges, which are fucking crazy.
Fuck,
like, that's
luckily,
just wild.
FedEx saw it and like fired his ass.
Nice.
But dude, I'm like, dude, like, and dude, what is it? Some gym in Wisconsin had the I Can't Breathe CrossFit challenge, and it was like 10 different workouts and then a picture of a guy on his knee. I'm like, are you fucking retarded? Like, like, bro, like, dude, it's funny. Like, my mom is always like, yo, comment test and then comment. I'm like, bro, but I feel like even the most overt racists right now, like, you know what? Right now is not a good time to see this shit.
I don't get it. And I feel like people are actually doing the generalization challenge now because, like, it's this game of, it's because of, a bad apple. Like, the cop, all cops are good, but there's some bad apples. And then you have Black Lives Matter saying, oh, like, all of us are peaceful, there's a few bad apples. And then the fucking conservatives and racists, oh, some of us conservatives are racist, but we're not bad apples. But I think out of all of this, the cops can't have bad apples because that could end someone's life. Like, racism and all that stuff and looting and shit, like, we don't really have as much control over. But with the police, we can say, hey, do not do this, and if you do this, you will go to jail.
You'll lose your pension. You'll
lose all that. We can't fucking do that to racists. Like, hey, if you say the N-word 20 times within a month, you'll go to jail. Like, there's not that same sort of judicial system where we can actually enact any of those punishments. So that's my biggest thing. Like, I don't like to generalize at all either, but with the cops, and I thought about that too myself. I'm like, well, yeah, like, it is just, a cop here and there that might be human and lose his mind and do some dumb shit. But I'm like, but they also don't go to jail after they do that. So that's the biggest issue. It's fine if you have human error, but like, we all fucking go to jail if we do something stupid.
There's consequences though, dude. We're all fucking taught from like a young age. There is consequences for everything you do. Good or bad. Like if you work hard, you should have a good life. If you fucking do wrong by someone, you're probably gonna be punished for it, right? Like, we're taught that. Go in time out. You know what I mean? Like we're taught that from like a fucking basic age. So it's just crazy how, yeah, dude. Like it just seems that a lot of cops look out for cops and like don't fucking want to snitch on each other because they don't want to fucking go against the blue line. But dude, that shit has to change, and that's why I'm fucking. Even after, dude, I was up to fucking like 1:30 last night doing like more and more research, and even after seeing the right side, I'm like, okay, fine, maybe some points you're making, I get where you're coming from, right? Like, cause they threw some stats, and I will put it up, but I'll say it too. So, right, so the latest FBI facts or stats from 2020, okay? There was, 2019. There were 10.1 million arrests last year, okay? 1,004 of them led to civilian deaths. 41 of those were for unarmed men. Out of those 41, 9 were black and 19 were white. All right? 89% of police officers were killed in the line of duty. Sorry, 89 police, 9%.
I was like, damn.
Police officers.
That's
fucking damn. Like, I'll never be a cop. Yo, think about that shit now. 89 police officers were killed in line of duty. 93% of blacks in America killed are by other black people. All right. So again, stats can be used to say whatever the fuck they want, right? So Larry Elder was using these stats to say, well, there's more cops being killed. Well, there's more white people being killed by cops than black people. I'm like, all right, bro. Even if that's accurate, that's still not okay. Like, dude, no one should be getting killed. We're like, why is that like?
But are those stats like unjustifiable killings, or
so
like just straight?
Bro, like that's my point. Like, just because you get this number, it doesn't paint the full picture, right? So this is strictly just so shootings, right? 41 killing through shootings. What about the fucking choked out ones? What about the other people who randomly just die in police custody? Like, what about those, right? So that's why when the right wants to fucking, share certain things to prove that it's not that bad, bro, it's that bad. And maybe you're discovering it's that bad for a lot of people. But if we're trying to focus on like, all right, Black Lives Matter, and the cops are making it really hard for Black lives to make it, then dude, let's fucking figure out what's wrong with the cops. And let's, like, I'm not sure about defunding, because like maybe they just need to be fucking trained better. You know what I mean? And you give them the training, and then if after that they fucking get out of line, all right, they have to be held accountable. So like with the whole defunding thing, like maybe like where 2 weeks ago I was like, yo, shut that shit down. These are fucking slave police. Now I'm like, you know what? Maybe not defund, but maybe invest more in training. And now you can hold them accountable. Listen, I trained you. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But dude, if you fucking are out of line moving forward, this shit's a wrap for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that too. That was what my Marine friend said. He was basically like, we need to invest more or just allocate the funds that we already have to get them more trained. And I also personally think they should be familiar with the people in the neighborhoods they police, because if you get I think I made this point before, if you get some dude who like grew up in Connecticut in some super white suburb, and then he moves out to LA and is patrolling Compton and shit, like he's gonna
stand out.
Yeah, he might wild out and just be afraid, which is natural for any human being who's just in an unfamiliar environment, and who's probably seeing black people wild out on TV or in movies and they're portrayed a certain way. So yeah, I definitely think they need to do something about the training. I'm really curious what that entails, because I have a friend who's LAPD officer, and
how's he feeling right now?
I texted him a couple times and he's just like, oh, the usual. He's very like stoic and almost like emotionless, which kind of scares me. I mean, he's never been like the most enthusiastic and vibrant person in like an extroverted happy way or anything that would make me think he's like seen some shit, but I feel like it does like change you. Like you're always kind of like on edge and like, you know, speculating on what's going on, and I feel like that kind of gets you after a while. Like you're just not, you can't enjoy the moment because you always feel like someone's doing some illegal shit.
Someone's about, yeah, dude, that's the thing. And again, maybe the person. Maybe we need more cops like that who aren't so quick to fucking like, you know, get shook and just fucking pull a gun out. Like they maybe like can actually like, all right, like, you know, because like they say like in basketball, like you're in the zone when shit like slows down for you and you're not fucking like, you know, like, oh, I can see this pass happen, right? You need cops who can like, all right, a crime's happening, but let me just fucking decipher what's going on, even if it's a millisecond. You have to be able to do that, right? Because I feel like if we have too many cops who just go off of instinct, bro, that's when people get fucking killed. Like, oh, black guy leaving a store, must have stolen something from there. Let's fucking shoot him, or let's choke him out. And it's like, bro, like, no, bro. Let's try to figure out the whole fucking story first before we assume black guy, this situation, white lady called me, black guy must be wrong. Let's arrest him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. Every time I see these situations, I'm like, bro, you have like batons, tasers, all sorts of shit, and like you can't use any of that if you really think they're resisting. I just don't get it.
Bro, but even Biden said some fucking wild shit like 2 weeks ago where he's like, we need to train the officers not shoot for don't shoot at the heart, shoot at the leg. And it's like, how about no one shoots, bro? Like,
I'm not trying to fucking have my ACL fucked up and shit from your shot.
Like, let's not shoot fucking unarmed men. Like, how about let's start there, bro? Like, figure it out. But again, I think if we're gonna say how our emotions were 2 weeks earlier to now, still very adamant that the Black Lives Matter movement needs to be happening, continue to happen, bro. Like, don't fucking stop. Like, don't stop protesting until like someone from that White House comes up to us and says like, yo, this is what we're doing. This is what we're gonna do for change. Like, yo, like that needs to happen first before they stop. But as far as like the radicalism, as far as like defund the police, I'm like, dude, because I feel like the police do have their merit if they fucking do what their job is. Yeah. Now, if you're telling me their job is not to fucking protect us and it is just to keep like white America safe, then we have a fucking problem. And then yes, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah. But if the job is to protect all, because everyone is paying their fucking taxes, black, white, Asian, Latino, Indian, like, bro, you can't be fucking just wilding out because you think that automatically anyone who doesn't look white is fucking a criminal. Like, that shit needs to stop.
So like on that note, I did hear of an instance. It was the lawyer who was talking about how to money launder and stuff, who's El Chapo's lawyer.
Okay.
He talked about an instance where they brought this guy to court for jumping over the turnstile or whatever at the subway.
Yeah, like the where you put your Metro card in.
Someone hopped over that shit, dodged like $2.50, ended up going to trial, and the defense attorney was like, hey, like, let me tell you why you guys are here. You're missing work and missing pay because this guy didn't pay $2.50 or whatever it was. He's like, your tax dollars are going to prosecuting people like this who, you know, did wrong, but at the same time, it's like, do we really want our police force?
Does it care?
Yeah, doing all this petty shit, basically. Like, get the serial killers and rapists and stuff, but I think they take it to a whole nother level when it comes to like other areas of crime. I feel like there's got to be a way to handle that better and not have our money go towards that shit. But yeah, the whole system seems to be or it seems like it needs some change. My only fear is that like there's kind of this propaganda going around saying that we're trying to get rid of police completely and Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization and shit. I feel like that's going to convince all the conservatives and Trump supporters to go even harder.
Which is terrifying as well, bro. Yeah. Terrifying.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins again, so I'm just bracing myself for
How do you feel about that? Yeah, because I feel like you were definitely way more in tune with the elections before me. I know you went to a couple of Yang Gang rallies. But like, as of right now, like if you had to put $100 on it, like how do you see this shit playing out in November?
$100, I would probably put it on Trump just based on how I see the country reacting. And it's not even that I think he has more supporters. I think it's I don't think people like Biden enough to show out for him. Yeah, I don't think people like Biden enough. I think that's the biggest handicap that we have at this point. So we'll see. I'm just really curious if he does win, if we're gonna have riots and looting and shit all over again, because people are upset about having 4 years of him, but 8 years, some people might be like, fuck all this. Bro, especially if COVID doesn't get fixed completely by then.
And dude, think about that, dude. 8 years of one person, like, dude, we were talking about, like, back to music, about Drake being on top for 10 years. And if you just think back to, like, 8 years ago, where the fuck were you in your life? And to think you had one fucking president who from day one was the absolute fucking worst, and you had 8 years of that, and like, what that could do to someone's fucking spirit, bro.
It's been wild.
Terrible, bro. Like, I hope to God as it fucking happened, because, like, man, I would hate to think back in my, like, years of where I became, like, the most conscious about things on a normal, like, progressing through life level, like from 28 to like 36, that this motherfucker was the guy that I had to, like, around. So maybe he's the reason I became more conscious, because I'm like, dude, like, this doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? Like, maybe like the younger version of us, like, it's not a big deal. Like, he's the president. And like, now we're like, bro, this is wrong. Like, what I mean? Like, this is wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I feel like with everything going on, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because it forces us to not be complacent and, like, get involved in politics and everything. Because before this, I mean, even during Obama's era, like, I wasn't, and George Bush's era, I wasn't too in tune with politics. I didn't understand how anything worked, really. I was just like, the president, they get to make some decisions and hopefully it works out, sort of thing. Whereas now it's like, I see how this is actually affecting everything, so to speak.
Yeah, man.
And I still have a lot to learn too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, all we're doing is fucking learning. But yeah, dude, all we can do is keep doing research. YouTube is great, fucking quick information there. So yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing, a lot of YouTube, and just, like, seeing both sides of things. But as far as, like, seeing things, bro, this is really where I got the title for this episode, Consider the Source, because I really think the media is, like, mind fucking us, bro, to, like, a different level, because obviously, like, the video of George Floyd is fucking horrendous. Mm-hmm. But bro, the way the media shifted from don't go outside, the world is ending, pandemic, lockdown, to within a day, racism, Black Lives Matter, go outside and protest, just wear your mask. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck? And like, we just fucking played along, whatever they say is how it is. Like, how have you felt like the role the media has played in, like, everything going on? And that, dude, not even just right now, just everything in fucking general, bro. Like, I wonder, like, how much the media is really fucking making us feel the way we feel. And if we just really try to tune that shit out, be on a fucking island, how would we really feel about everything?
Yeah, it's been interesting hearing everything. I know a lot of people mentioned to me, they're like, so I guess COVID's done? Because, like, it's literally the opposite of social distancing. Like, you couldn't get further from it. They might as well have been fucking locking hands and shit, butt naked. But it's wild that the conversation switched so quickly. Granted, like, it is something you can't ignore. Like, when there's people in fucking Beverly Hills, like, smashing windows, stealing Louis Vuitton purses and stuff. But
dude, so my challenge to you on that, and again, check me if you think I'm wrong, is would have that happened if the media didn't, like, fuck? Because how I interpret it, all right, it's been fucking almost 3 months of COVID, all right, maybe at the time 2.5 months of COVID. People are fucking going out, states are opening, the numbers are all going fucking down. They're like, all right, what's the new thing we could fucking run on? They get this video, which is fucking terrible, and then I feel like the media, again, this has all been happening forever, bro. Like, I'm glad the media shed light on it, but I feel like the aggressiveness to shed light on it incited people to fucking lose their minds and, like, oh my God, yes, this is the worst thing ever. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, it feels a little bit like that. Again,
I see what you're saying.
I also agree with, like, people have been fucking fucked over forever. People have been unemployed for fucking 3 months now, not getting their check. They're probably like, dude, fuck this, bro. I'm gonna go fuck up this Vans store because I just don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? But I wonder, like, just the aggressiveness to, like, put that light on it. Again, maybe we needed that, but it really just felt like, damn, like, I feel like, I wonder if, like, the world's reaction would have been a little bit differently if, like, they didn't just fucking shine the light on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it.
That's a good point, because, I mean, we saw that other dude get gunned down by people by just jogging.
Right, that was 3 weeks before.
That just like blew over kind of pretty quickly. And then Eric Garner, which obviously happened several years ago, I don't think the reaction was even compares to what's been going on with George Floyd for some reason. I mean, the video is, I think, more disturbing, but
terrible.
At the same time, I did notice that it seemed like people were pushing this story. I think maybe the media was just, it was kind of like a money grab of sorts where they're looking for something new to latch onto. I don't know if it has anything to do with the election or politics. It's hard to really tell like what motives these corporations and media outlets and stuff have, but I think the boredom of people and like the distress in the country and just the opportunity to like blow something out of proportion came by, and they were like, we just gotta, it's resonating, so it's working, and we just gotta keep pushing it, not realizing that there might be straight up riots at some point.
Or dude, maybe they want that, bro, because that's more news coverage. You know what I mean? Like, CNN went from 24/7 fucking the COVID updates and the numbers on the side, you know, 75,000, 100,000, 110,000. Now it's just like, you know, who's a racist today? that's what it fucking seems.
Yeah, it's wild how all that played out, because now, like, racism and shit is at the forefront of my mind, whereas before it was kind of like, oh, when's COVID ending so I can do regular shit?
Dude, you know what it feels like? It's like, do you remember that fucking, I don't know the name of that toy we had as a kid, where like you put it almost to your face as a VR, almost like a VR system, but it was like those, like that disc that had like little pictures in it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you, like,
yeah.
put it in and you go,
yeah.
It's like, dude, we have that on our face and the media's like, all right, what's next? You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like.
Right? It's just like, yo, all right, this COVID's the thing. And it's like, this is the thing. And it's like, all right, COVID's back. It's like, bro, like, what the fuck, bro? I'm just like, this is why I feel more than ever people need to go fucking speak to a therapist, bro, because this shit would just fuck with you, bro. Like, you feel fucking helpless. It's like, bro, everything you're telling me, I have no control over. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good word, is hopeless, because that's how
I've been feeling, or at least felt like at the end of this weekend on the long drive home from the Bay Area. Well, we can get into heat in the week later, but like just listening to certain artists and stuff, I was just thinking about everything that's going on. I'm just like, fuck, like for the first time in a long time, I felt like I realized what issues and challenges this world has, more specifically this country. And I'm just like, do I need to move? Do I need a better job that like has a purpose? Like I was just like, I don't know what the fuck to do, basically. Yeah,
dude, it's a hopeless feeling, man. Dude, we were talking about, I seen that meme earlier, fucking apparently you think the UK is better, because like I honestly, this is like the general, I thought the UK was better. That's because I know slavery ended like in the 1800s, it was like literally hundreds of years ago. And I also knew like a lot of my like black UK friends like know where they come from. You know what I mean? Like, like yo, I'm from Senegal, I'm from Ghana, I'm from the Ivory, like, you know what I mean? Like that, like I never, like all my American like black friends here, like, yo, I'm from fucking South Carolina, like that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like so I don't know, in my mind, I never even thought about it like slavery or like, I'm like, oh, they're just black people from England. And then the fact that when slavery was abolished, the entire country up until 3 years ago was still paying slavery taxes back to the fucking like owners of slaves. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's wild.
Dude, that's like the opposite. Like, we've been begging for like reparations, and these motherfuckers are still paying the fucking slave owners. Like, what?
I know. And that's all verifiable, like from a trusted source.
Dude,
and everything.
I literally said that same thing to you, to my boy, and he's like, bro, I've been like, he's a UK citizen. He's like, bro, I've been paying that. Like, yeah, fact.
That's
like, dude,
like I couldn't wake up in the morning like knowing that any of like a penny is going to these motherfuckers.
Bro, I was like, holy shit. I saw that thing. I'm like, that's not real. At first, I read it real fast because obviously we're in that fucking day and age where everything's just like, you know, swipe, 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 swipe.
Yeah.
But I thought it was that. I thought it was the positive. I thought that since 1883 that the country has been giving money back, to, you know, like as a way to say we're sorry. It was a fucking nah. You can have your slaves. Give me my money though. Like that's like.
That's fucking foul.
Dude,
and I'm sure there's like, see, like that sort of stuff is like literally the epitome of systemic or systematic racism, whatever the phrase is just literally paying people that had taken advantage of other people.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like benefiting from that shit. Dude, which is why I'm all for fucking knocking down all these fucking statues, bro. Like, yo, we have more information now. We know this fuck and this fuck and this fuck were rapists, murderers, slave traders. Like, bro, why the fuck is there like an auditorium named after him? Change that fucking name, bro. Knock that fucking, like, I'm all about that shit, bro. Like,
you know what it is?
Have the information.
These motherfuckers are so hell-bent over, I guess just almost like the nostalgia of it. Like, for instance, I'm pretty sure like George Washington and all these motherfuckers like weren't, you know, for the people. And if we were gonna change that, people would be up in arms and like throw a fit. And I'm like, why? It's just because they don't like change. I think it's some human innate thing where like we just freak out when change comes. And we think it's gonna like ruin the world and make brown and black people fucking take over and all this shit. And like, no, we want to be the default race too. We don't want to surpass you. We just want there to be an even playing field and have people just look at us as all the same. But like, for some reason they hold these statues and everything so dearly because they've been taught. Also, I think the American history that's taught is bullshit too. And they've been taught that these motherfuckers are like Superman and stuff. So that's why they get angry, especially with like Columbus and stuff. Like even I, until probably college, thought Christopher Columbus was like a dope dude who discovered
was the man,
America,
dude.
did all
Columbus
this shit.
Day, we get off like, yo, let's fucking go.
And found out he fucking was railing Pocahontas beyond her will and shit and slaughtering people and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I don't fuck with this dude anymore. I'll still take the day off if you give it to me, but I'm not celebrating this motherfucker.
Dude, the only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace, bro. That's still my fucking thing that to my grave. I'll fucking take that shit. But dude, even the DR, bro, like, cause dude, they fucking build a massive statue for him in Dominican Republic because, like, you know, he discovered there, you know, apparently. But yeah, dude, we just have more information. But I do want to. What's great is that, dude. So my upbringing, dude, I was in India by fucking the 5th grade. So I didn't get taught American history the way you did. So I would love, like, when we link up next, go to a bar, like, you just teach me the shit you learned, like, in school. Because, like, bro, like, again, I don't know if it was, I mean, it never hurt me, but, or maybe it didn't fucking, like, convert me a certain way. But, like, yeah, I just I grew up learning world history, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, hey, this is what happened, why we had World War I, this is what happened in World War II. Like, I never learned this stuff about the railways and, you know, like, them glossing over slavery and shit. Because, dude, America tries to finesse that shit real fucking smoothly. Like, I remember, dude, last year I went on a fucking work trip to Charleston, and then, dude, we went to some fucking ranch, and, dude, they had slave quarters there. And, like, dude, they had, like, mannequins of, like, the slaves and, like, history and shit. And I'm like, y'all feel comfortable with this shit? Like, I know whoever owned this property had slaves back then. But you guys are, like, advertising that shit? Like, you don't feel like in 2019 we should just knock this shit down and, like, if someone asks, you fucking talk about it? Like, you're profiting, like, people paying to come here, and you have, like, your slave I don't know. It just felt very weird. Like, I know we should have, like, African-American, like, history museums, but, like, the way they had, like, mannequins set up and, like, oh, yeah, we treated them very nicely here compared to other fucking slave quarters, and then And then they had like a last one, like, oh, but Black History in America now, we have a black president. I'm like, bro, we can't jump from fucking slave quarter number 1 to the first African American president. That's not the correlation, bro. Like, so it's just weird how like America tries to finesse, like, you know, it wasn't that bad. Like, bro, it was that bad, and we should know about
They definitely watered down the punishments and made black people seem like victims the entire time, in the sense that they didn't talk about all the dope stuff that black slaves and just black individuals did amongst that entire period. And when I hear now some of the like punishments and tortures that they did, like letting dogs fucking eat their genitals and shit, like I feel like you have to teach people how despicable that is, because a third grader is going to go through the slavery chapter and think that
it wasn't that bad.
We were just fucking in the fields, like kind of working in the sun and having to cook dinner and shit. Like they don't realize how fucking like we were seriously treated like worse than pets or animals. Like I don't know anyone who treats fucking animals like that. So it's wild.
Dude, think about it, bro. Dude, Michael Vick spent more time in jail for killing dogs than any cop has spent in jail for fucking killing another black person, bro. Like come on, that's all you need to know about this fucking country.
White people love their dogs,
dude.
They will literally slaughter a whole fucking movie theater for a puppy that was theirs.
And bro, I have a dog. I'm like, yo, just chill, bro. Like, yo, you're lucky to be in the house. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky to be in the house, motherfucker. But dude, you know what I think it is? Like, we use that phrase a lot, white supremacy. Bro, I really think it's like white insecurity, because bro, this land isn't yours.
Yep.
And then the people who build everything for you, you didn't do it. You know what I mean? So it's like you're just insecure because like everything you have, you either stole or paid, or not even paid. You fucking had slaves, they did it for you. So it's that insecurity of like, yeah, this is mine, but did I earn it? And now people are like, well, we want this and we want that. It's like, whoa, fuck, like, yo, chill. That's not how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really think it's not white supremacy, but like that could be also translated as white insecurity.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think they just they look around. They don't know the history of the country. They look around, they see everyone in executive positions is white. All the people in the affluent areas are white. So if I had to put myself in their shoes, they're just so ignorant to the history. They don't even believe that. I don't think. Like when when there's memes that are like Africans built this country, Latinos kept it, kept it clean and vibrant and everything, and did this and that. Like they see those memes and they're like, oh, that's bullshit. Like I think they just literally turn a blind eye, and they're such in their bubble that they legitimately think white people are the reason why the country is the way it is. And then they're gonna point out people like Thomas Edison and fucking Albert Einstein and well, I don't even think he's American, but Thomas Edison and fucking all the other people that we recall,
Franklin,
like Benjamin Franklin. Like even like the fact that we're speaking about these two people, I think if you ask the average American, like inventors, like it would be the same like 4 white people.
Yeah.
Like we don't know shit about all the black inventions, and then the ones they do talk about are like the peanut and shit, George Washington Carver, like stuff. Like every time I read that, I'm like, we had to have done something cooler than this shit. I know it's important, but like all the time I'll see these facts of black people that created, like, I don't know, the fan or something that people use on a daily basis, and people literally just don't know, and they think all we're capable of is playing basketball and rapping.
Facts. Yeah, dude. That's it. Yeah. It's hopefully, the school books are being fucking rewritten as we speak, and we get all the facts. So when our kids, go to school, they'll get, the information they need. If not, hopefully podcasts are still around in 10 years. They fucking listen to this, so they're good either way.
Sure.
All right, man. So let's make a quick little fucking pivot. Let's get into some music before we dip here. I know you wanted to talk about YG, who was heavily at the protest in LA. So what do you want to discuss?
Yes, and this one was just a brief thing. I think he received backlash for making the music video at the protests and stuff like that. And he's basically saying, like, you know, he chooses to protest in this fashion. And I guess some people don't feel like it's the proper way to go about it, or like it taints the whole, you know, premise of the protest in the first place, just kind of like more in your face and aggressive.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when I first like saw it, part of me was, I didn't necessarily think it was clout chasing, but I thought it was like an opportune time to like capitalize a little bit on what's going on. Just because it kind of has like a club feel to it, so it wasn't like some serious J. Cole shit where like you knew like, oh, so, like a spirit spoke to him and told him he has to spread this message.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like fuck the police over like some shit you'd play in the club. So I think there's at least a little bit of doubt in my mind, like, okay, what is this? And then two, also I'm always curious, like, if this message really helps in a way, because like I don't particularly like police, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, are they gonna be playing this at rallies and shit and like throwing bricks at police and like active, is it gonna incite anything? I think that's my only fear when I hear shit like this, is like the tension it might create, because it's one thing to, I think, positive reinforcements generally better than negative reinforcement. So it's more so saying, hey, Black Lives Matter, do this, as opposed to fuck you, I hate you, I hope you go away and die and all that shit.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my take on it.
I think it was very opportunistic. But then, dude, I feel like I look back and like conversation you and I have had, like, dude, we're both grateful to be doing this during this time. So like in 10 years from now, we could have exactly the moment, like we could hear how we fucking felt during that time. So like, dude, like, imagine if he did the video like 6 months from now when things are back to normal and he's gonna be fucking like remaking exactly what was going on, right?
Yeah.
So dude, literally have an entire fucking set right downtown. Just go downtown and film the song. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I kind of believed him when he was like, yo, it's a perfect way to just capture this moment, because you can't recreate that. You know what I mean? Like, even if you and I like fucking try to do a podcast a year from now and just discuss this moment, dude, there's no time better than now to really discuss how we feel. You know what I mean? So
that is true. I kind
of believe him on that. Like, yo, like, I can't recreate this on a fucking set in fucking West Hollywood. We're here, everyone's here. And dude, there's been plenty of videos like people like, yes, it's a fucking serious protest, but like they've been fucking jamming out to like Pop Smoke and shit, just enjoying life as well, right? Because it's still like a gathering of people, like, yo, we're in this together. It doesn't all have to be serious. So but yeah, again, the song is super fucking, rebellious, like, so I know where that can come as a bit of a conflict, but at the end of the day, bro, like, I get the point of view just capturing that moment, because whatever you're trying to get, you're not gonna get, if you try to, make that video in like 8 months.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that.
Cool. And speaking of getting locked up and fucking police, our boy 6ix9ine is gonna do, I guess, a remix to Akon.
Yes, sir.
You called this shit from like, you're like, yo, Akon's gonna be the one rapper to come out and support him, because one, he's a fucking gazillionaire, so he's like, bro, I don't give a fuck what no one says, like, I'm rich. And then, so one, what's your thought on that? And then he is dropping Nicki Minaj and 6ix9ine dropping a song and video. What is it, Thursday?
On Thursday at midnight Eastern time.
Cool.
Technically Friday midnight, because midnight will be Friday, but tomorrow night.
Thursday night, 9 o'clock for you, lucky guy. So how do you feel about the Akon thing? And then do you think trolls will have the buzz that, what was the fucking song, Gooba?
Yeah, Gooba.
Yeah, we're in a different world right now, bro. Like, but back, when that song dropped, it was just COVID. It wasn't fucking the world right now. So, like, how do you think it's gonna play out?
Yeah, that makes everything in life interesting. Now I've been thinking about that literally on my car rides, like, and that's terrible to say. Like, I'm driving in my car. There's COVID. There's racial tension, and here I am, like, oh, I wonder how 6ix9ine's video is gonna do. So I'm like, yo, I should be ashamed. But anyways, when it comes to the Akon video, I wasn't expecting him to remix Locked Up. I feel like that's lazy as fuck, and 6ix9ine sounded like trash on his verse. I'm like, really? Like, at least add bass to it or something.
Bro. Like, how you gonna, that's like your song that you came out to the world and you're gonna give it to this fucking kid? Yeah. Wow.
And it wasn't even like, it didn't have like trap elements added to it to make it different.
Song. Like, it's the same beat. It's not even like on some like, you know, when Russ redid a couple beats, like, bro, it is the same fucking beat, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have any fucking tempo, it didn't have any extra fucking trap, you know, drums, like, yeah. So yeah, I agree. I mean, again, maybe the final product's different, but yeah, that 35-second clip was like, and then how do you think the Nicki Minaj draw is gonna be?
That one. So I wasn't expecting her to collab with him this soon, to be honest, but just based on the visuals that he posted and everything, I feel like this one could, if it is as like catchy and visually pleasing as Gooba and Fifi, I feel like it could do some damage, like in a good way. Like, it could generate some big buzz, and if it does work, I feel like other artists like Tory Lanez, I feel like he's next, actually, just based on what I've seen, his interactions. Yeah, he was a fan of Tekashi. He hasn't spoken out against him. He's like, I miss my guy before in some interviews. So I feel like Tory Lanez, after Nicki, is gonna be next, if he's not already on the album.
Yeah, he's probably already on it, bro. He has like
yeah.
But dude, I don't know, man. Like, I personally, this is just my opinion, like, and I want to see everybody win. But bro, I think America, and especially like hip hop culture in America right now, is very much at this time like, bro, if you ain't really one of us, we ain't fucking with you. So bro, I can't see this fucking fair skin rainbow head in this America right now dropping some shit and breaking the internet, bro. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but though, just the way I see, like, everyone is really embracing, like, bro, this is our fucking country, this is our culture, we gotta be about, like, this is our shit, bro. I don't see it, bro. Like, I don't see 6ix9ine doing fucking 2 million people on Instagram Live and that shit going top 5 on the billboards. Like, dog, I don't see it. I think people are like fed up with him, and like really, like, he kept pushing shit back, and you know, I think people are like, you know what, bro, we got way more important shit right now. We ain't got time for you, bro. You work with you are the police. You know what I mean? We don't got time.
That's a good point. He is the police. So
yeah, bro.
On that note, I'm not sure. I mean, I know they tried to put a spin on it and say they were gonna donate a portion of the proceeds to like
a portion, huh? Yeah. Not the whole thing.
Yeah, to some foundation. If it was the whole thing, then I think people might have viewed it
a little bit.
Yeah. But it's like, what big deal is 100,000 if you're making fucking $1 million? So
yeah. We're gonna find out very soon, but yeah, just dude, my heart, and just I feel like being as in tune with like hip hop as we both are, bro. Like, just the way like everyone's out there, bro. Like, fucking out there, like, fucking dude, risking their lives to fucking be a part of the movement, and we're just gonna stop and fucking watch this. Like, bro, I don't see it, bro. Like, I really don't see it.
Yeah, no, it hits different. Like, I had trouble even like listening to new music that was so trivial and had like nothing to do with
no actual meaning. Yeah. Like, just like, in the club. What club, bro? You have not been to a club in 4 months, bro. Like,
right.
Oh, that's great. Okay, dude, we'll find out, and again, we'll do a special episode next week on it. Hopefully more music next week, but all good. Here of the week, pretty sure you had a couple songs that you were banging during the drive back from the Bay.
So nothing too new. One of my friends who I visited, he's a huge fan of Lupe, like I am.
Nice.
And I kind of reminded we had like this debate with his sister about if he was better than Nas and all this stuff. But
that's a good comparison.
Yeah. In any case, the conversation made me realize he is one of my top 5.
Very talented.
And so my friend, off his last album, what is it called? Tetsuo in Youth or some shit? I don't know how to pronounce it. Tetsuo in Youth. But anyways, he has a song on there called Mural. And it's just like an 8-minute freestyle talking about like all sorts of deep like political things and stuff. So like it was kind of relevant, and then it transitioned to a music video. The song's called Ital parentheses Roses.
Okay.
But the visual, I was drunk as hell when I was watching this music video, by the way. It was like 11 a.m. in the morning when he showed up. But it shows a visual of this black kid watching a TV screen, and it's like this scantily clad chick with big ass tits, and all sorts of other like rapper imagery, like guns and bullets and weed and stuff. And he's just like staring at the TV, entranced by it. Then this cop walks in, handcuffs the little black kid who's like probably only 5 years old, takes him away.
Shit.
And then they bring in this like preppy looking white kid who's about 4 or 5 as well, and he's staring at the TV screen, but instead of all the imagery I just mentioned, it's imagery of like Animal Planet, like lions,
Okay.
you know, hunting, and like more educated content, I guess you could say. I have to dig deeper into the message, but I think it's kind of implying that we've been like, as a people, trained to find importance and meaning in things that don't matter and aren't important. But spinning off of that, on my ride home, I put that on my Spotify playlist, and then it went on a whole tangent of similar songs, and then I was just listening to a whole bunch of other artists, and it just got me. I just realized in that moment that like that was the kind of music I needed to be listening to right now. Listen to Land of 100%. Snakes, Born Sinner, J. Cole. Forgot how much I love that song. So it was dope to listen to Lupe again. I forgot how talented he is.
So I can add it to the playlist, bro. The playlist is coming around very nicely. So for those of you guys on Spotify or Apple Music, Audio Theory playlist, Heat of the Week, plenty of shit for you guys to listen to, especially stuff that relates to now. So yeah, definitely send me that one so I can add it to the Apple one too.
For sure.
Dude, I actually added a few songs to the Apple one as well. I added obviously All Right, you know, Kendrick Lamar, classic.
Yeah.
This Is America hits different now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Was fucking preaching this shit 2 years ago, and it's like, bro, like this is what America is. Yeah. Changes obviously by Tupac is fucking phenomenal. But one, this is really my Heat of the Week. Nasty C and T.I. Bro, it's called They Don't. This song was made like a week ago. Like it's about everything. So
nice.
It's over a dope beat that's like not overpowering. Lyrics hit hard. T.I.'s always been a fucking educator from like day one. So yeah, dude, it's all about this shit. It's pretty much like they don't want us to have anything. They don't want us to be rich. They don't want us to do this. They want us to do that. So yeah, They Don't by Nasty C and T.I. Definitely check that out. It's on the Heat of the Week playlist as we speak.
For sure.
All right, my dude. Anything else before we dip?
Nah, not really. Just keep it pushing. Right. Keep
Great
positive.
Episode, bro.
Another good episode in the books. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, tune in. Don't forget we have the playlist links on the video. So follow that and share. We'll try to put a nice balance of top songs across artists that we both love for you guys to tune into.
Yeah, we may need to go back and add that. What was that boy? Royal? Was it Pepsi something? What's his name? That John.
Which one?
Remember that dude? That it's like the old the house hip hop kind of thing. Fuck, dude. It was like when we.
Oh, just Saint Pepsi.
Saint Pepsi. Yeah, I might need to add some of that shit to the playlist so people can have a nice overall theme, not just heavy hip hop and then heavy hip hop that has a meaning, like it can have nice.
Yeah. Especially a playlist they can pretty much get anywhere else. Like ours will be more curated to be the best of everything, sort of.
Yeah, like what we listen to, right? I'll have Jaden Smith, but then we'll have fucking some extreme shit. So I'll add some of that in a little bit, dude. But dude, be safe. Love you, bro. Always great. And to everyone listening, keep watching on YouTube. Comment, share. You know, we need you to need us. So let's make it happen.
For sure. Love you too, man. Tune in, share, like, and subscribe.
Peace.
Peace.